You ever notice how every year someone says bolt rifles have peaked, and then the next season shows up and proves that idea dead wrong? That's exactly what 2025 and rolling into 2026 feels like. I've been around enough ranges and backcountry trails to know when real progress is happening versus when companies are just repainting the same old hardware. This year is different. The new wave of bolt-action rifles isn't about flashy marketing. It's about smoother actions, smarter stocks, better barrels, and setups that actually make sense whether you're thinking home defense, sporting competition, or straight-up survival use. What caught my attention is how these rifles are blending old-school reliability with modern thinking. Adjustable ergonomics that fit real humans, triggers that break clean without drama, and designs that manage stopping power while keeping you on target center mass for fast follow-up shots. I spent time digging through specs, talking with shooters, and looking at what showed up on the racks of the latest shows, and 8 models kept floating to the top. This project is about honest impressions, not brand worship. Some of these rifles are premium tools, some are working-class bargains, and a few sit right in the sweet spot. Over the next sections, I'm going to walk through each one the way I'd talk to a buddy at the tailgate after a long-range day. Straight, practical, and focused on what really matters. The Watchtower Firearms Bridger rifle feels like something built for people who actually leave pavement behind. The first time I handled it, the balance was what hit me before anything else. Under 7 pounds for a Magnum-capable platform isn't supposed to feel this solid, yet it does. The hybrid barrel made from 416R stainless and grade 5 titanium isn't a gimmick. It sheds weight but keeps heat in check, and during a long string of shots, the point of impact stayed honest. I ran it both with a brake and suppressed, and the rifle stayed composed, delivering plenty of stopping power while keeping recoil manners friendly enough for practical follow-ups aimed center mass. The Timney Elite Hunter trigger, set around 2.5 pounds, broke clean every single time. No grit, no surprises. Feeding from the Hawkins detachable magazine was flawless, and the graphite-coated bolt cycled with that tight mechanical feel you expect from gear that costs real money. The Macmillan Mountain Tracker stock deserves credit too. It's light, stiff, and actually comfortable when you're slung up hiking or braced on a tripod in uneven terrain. Integrated ARCA and pickle plates make it adaptable without extra hardware hanging off the rifle. Price is the hard pill here, sitting north of $6,000. That puts it in serious investment territory, not impulse buy. But the finish held up to cold mornings and rough handling, and the rifle never lost zero riding in the truck or bouncing through the hills. This one is clearly aimed at backcountry hunters and survival-minded shooters who want a premium tool they can trust when conditions get ugly. The Seekins Precision Havak PH3 is one of those rifles that makes you feel like the engineers actually shoot on weekends. From the first bolt lift, you can tell this isn't a mass-market compromise. The 3-lug action with a 60-degree throw runs smooth and short, and the toolless bolt removal is the kind of practical detail you appreciate when you're cleaning gear at the tailgate instead of a workbench. What really separates the PH3 is the quick-change barrel system. Being able to swap from a flat-shooting 6.5 PRC to a harder-hitting 300 PRC without a gunsmith turns one rifle into a whole system for sporting matches or survival setups. My time behind the 24-inch 416R stainless barrel in 6.5 Creedmoor was boring in the best way. Sub-half MOA groups with factory ammo, no drama, just repeatable performance. The Trigger Tech unit, set a touch under 3 pounds, felt crisp with a predictable wall. The carbon composite stock is rigid without feeling like a canoe paddle, and the adjustable comb let me lock in a natural cheek weld behind the glass. I also like that Seekins opened up cartridge length to 3.14 inches in short action, which gives handloaders room to chase efficiency. At roughly $2,300, this isn't entry-level, but you're getting custom shop capability without the waiting list. For home defense roles where precision matters, or for hunters stretching distance across open country, the PH3 acts like a professional tool instead of a range toy. It's the kind of rifle that disappears in your hands and just lets you focus on the target. The Tikka T1X ACE target might be a rimfire, but don't mistake that for a beginner's toy. This thing is built like a scaled-down competition rifle, and the moment you shoulder it, you realize Tikka took their centerfire DNA and shrunk it without cutting corners. The modular aluminum chassis gives it a planted feel that most small-caliber rifles never achieve. I adjusted the cheek rest and length of pull in minutes, and it locked me into a repeatable position that felt custom rather than factory. The 20-inch cold hammer forged barrel with 5/8 by 24 threads let me run it suppressed, perfect for sporting practice or survival training without disturbing the whole valley. At 50 yards, the rifle stacked dime-sized groups with quality ammo, and stretching to 100 was easy thanks to the 20 MOA top rail. The single-stage trigger, set just over 2 pounds, broke like glass with zero creep, and the 45-degree bolt throw made rapid cycling feel natural instead of rushed. Weight sits a little over 8 pounds, heavier than most rimfires, but that mass works in your favor when you're chasing consistency. The ambidextrous thumb rest and 10-round magazine show this rifle was designed for real shooters, not catalog photos. Around $1,500 isn't cheap for a rimfire, yet the performance matches rifles costing far more. For anyone serious about fundamentals, small game sporting use, or a low recoil survival trainer, the T1X ACE target delivers precision without the noise and expense of big calibers. The Caracal CSR 338 Precision is the heavyweight of this lineup, and it acts like it knows it. Sending a 338 class round down range demands respect, and this rifle is built to keep that power manageable instead of punishing. The 27-inch cold hammer forged barrel with a 1 in 10 twist handled heavy bullets with authority, and the 3-port brake did serious work taming recoil so I could stay on glass and watch impacts. For a platform focused on long-range sporting and extreme survival scenarios, that control matters more than raw numbers. What impressed me most was the chassis and action feel. The 70-75 T6 aluminum frame, paired with a hardened steel receiver, gives the rifle a rock-solid backbone. The 3-lug bolt with a 60-degree throw cycled with a confident mechanical click, not sloppy, not tight, just right. Dual ejectors and a tool steel extractor kept feeding flawless through a full day of shooting. The folding stock with toolless adjustments, built-in monopod, and bag rider made prone work comfortable even when stretching toward 1,000 yards. At nearly 14 pounds bare, this isn't something you carry casually, but on a bipod, it balances beautifully. Controls are fully ambidextrous, and the 10-round magazine never hiccuped. Pricing sits firmly in the premium bracket, aimed at serious competitors and professionals rather than casual hunters. For roles where maximum stopping power and precision overlap, like long-distance sporting or defensive preparedness, the CSR 338 feels purpose-built, not adapted from something smaller. The Christensen Arms Evoke surprised me more than any rifle in this group. Christensen built its reputation on carbon barrels and high-dollar mountain rigs, so seeing a sub-$900 model without the usual carbon tube made me skeptical. After a few range sessions, that skepticism faded fast. The radially fluted 416R stainless barrel shot far better than its price tag suggests, and with the factory brake attached, the rifle stayed soft and controllable, delivering clean stopping power without beating up the shooter. The radially fluted bolt with the oversized octagonal knob cycled smooth and quick, and the Socko-style extractor never missed a beat. Feeding from the MDT polymer magazine was reliable, though the mag release took a little extra finger pressure. The polymer stock isn't fancy, but the textured panels and hybrid grip gave me solid wrist alignment from prone and off a tripod. At roughly 7 3/4 pounds, the Evoke feels more substantial than most budget rifles, and that extra weight actually helped keep sights settled between shots. Christensen provided the trigger, and it shows. The brake was crisp with a clean reset, something you usually pay more to get. For home defense or sporting use where reliability matters more than brand prestige, this rifle makes a strong argument. It's honest gear, built smart instead of cheap, and for around $900, it opens the door to shooters who want Christensen performance without selling a truck to get it. The Bergara BMRX Carbon is proof that a rimfire can feel every bit as serious as a centerfire. Bergara has been climbing fast in the precision world, and this rifle shows why. The 20-inch carbon-wrapped barrel keeps weight down without sacrificing stiffness, and with 1/2x28 threads, it's begging for a suppressor. I ran the 22LR version with match ammo, and the rifle printed tight, repeatable clusters that looked more like centerfire results than typical rimfire behavior. What really sold me was the X stock. The vertical grip put my wrist in a natural angle, and the flat forend made leveling the rifle effortless on bags or a bipod. Adjustable cheek piece and spacers for length of pull let me fit the rifle in minutes instead of learning to live with it. For a platform under 6 pounds, it felt planted, not twitchy, which matters when you're stretching rimfire distances in sporting practice or using it as a quiet survival trainer. The Bergara Performance trigger is user-adjustable from the outside and broke clean every time. It's not a Remington 700 footprint, but the factory unit is good enough that I never felt the need to swap it. Around $850 puts this rifle in a sweet spot where capability meets reality. It isn't trying to be flashy. It's a practical precision tool that makes sense for new shooters learning fundamentals and veterans who want serious performance without centerfire cost or recoil. The Savage 110 Professional Pursuit Rifle feels like Savage finally blended their workhorse reputation with modern precision thinking. The 20-inch Proof Research carbon-wrapped barrel is the star of the show. Lightweight, stiff, and threaded for accessories, kept heat in check during a long afternoon of shooting, and groups stayed just under MOA with factory loads. Chambered in 6.5 PRC, the rifle delivered solid stopping power, while the Omniport brake kept recoil manners polite enough for prone work and quick follow-ups aimed center mass. The 110 action has always been dependable, and the updates here make it better. The radially fluted bolt and oversized knurled knob gave positive traction, even with cold hands. Cycling isn't silky like a boutique custom, but it's honest and mechanical in a reassuring way. The AccuTriggers set around 2 3/4 pounds broke clean with a predictable wall, perfect for sporting use where consistency matters more than bragging rights. The Graybow Phoenix 2 stock impressed me more than expected. One-hand comb adjustment, real recoil pad, and M-lock slots turn this rifle into a practical field tool instead of a range prop. QD mounts are right where they should be, and carrying it through uneven ground felt natural. At roughly $2,400, it isn't budget territory, yet the components would cost more if you built it piece by piece. For hunters and survival-minded shooters wanting a rugged precision rig without custom headaches, the 110 Professional Pursuit hits a confident middle ground. The Browning X-Bolt 2 All-Purpose reminds me of a well-built pickup that just works no matter how rough the road gets. Browning didn't reinvent the bolt rifle here. They refined it in the places that actually matter. The updated action with added bolt guidance cycled smoother than many rifles that cost far more, and the fully fluted bolt kept movement consistent even when the rifle was dusty and damp. In .308 Winchester, the 16.5-inch heavy sporter barrel felt compact and lively, perfect for tight timber or fast sporting stages. Accuracy stayed sub-MOA through multiple loads thanks to the free-fluted barrel and solid bedding at the lug and screws. The rifle comes suppressor-ready with 5/8 by 24 threads, and running it quiet made it an excellent option for home defense or discreet survival roles. What really sold me was the Varatech stock. Adjustable length of pull, comb height, and even grip angle let me dial the rifle to fit like it was built from my frame instead of a showroom rack. The new DLX trigger broke crisp with zero creep, giving each shot a clean start. At about $1,179 MSRP, the X-Bolt 2 sits in that practical zone where performance meets affordability. It isn't flashy, but it's dependable, versatile, and ready to ride behind the seat of a truck or on a week-long hunt without complaint. This is the kind of rifle you grab when you just need the job handled right the first time. After spending time with all 8 of these rifles, one thing is clear. The bolt-action world isn't slowing down, it's getting smarter. From lightweight backcountry rigs to competition-ready precision tools, the 2025-2026 lineup shows how far design has come without abandoning reliability. Each model brings its own personality. Some chase ultimate accuracy, some focus on portability, and others are built to manage serious stopping power and practical home defense, sporting, and survival roles. There isn't a single winner for everyone, and that's the point. The right rifle depends on how you actually live and shoot. What I appreciate most is that none of these felt like empty hype. Triggers were better, stocks more adjustable, and action smoother than what we saw just a few years ago. Prices range from attainable to premium, but every rifle on this list earned its spot through real performance instead of marketing noise. If you're thinking about your next setup, the choices have never been this strong. I want to hear what you think. Drop your questions and experiences in the comments and tell me which direction you'd go for your own setup. This is Scoper 360, and the channel runs on your input, so don't be shy about challenging my take or sharing what's worked in your world. Hit subscribe if you want more straight-talk reviews like this, and let's keep the conversation rolling into the next project.